everybody. Just getting things in alignment here. As we do. Make sure all the pieces are in place before diving on in. It looks like they are. Thank goodness. I dig it. As usual, Chasing Geekdom is the channel. Normally, I am out in the world covering comic conventions and theme parks and race events like a Star Wars half marathon. Things that I'm participating in, but I'm also there. Oh, it's just an outfit. I'm also there as a participant, enjoyer, all that, but also photojournalism. Yeah. Guy. This is what post-work mush brain looks like, and it's literally the reason why I force myself to just unplug from work, set this up, and jump in. Because I'm like just forcing my way into the real world. So anyways, because I can't be out in the world covering all of those events and things, and theme parks and geek stuff, just plopping down here every day and talking about them while Fortnite is being played by me mediumly, poorly, moderately, mediocrely. I have moments where I shine, but not a lot of them. Let's jump in. Oh wait, you know what? Before I do, what I've been doing this last few weeks, and I'll be doing for a while, is I'm on a quest for the best hungover brunch guest, and it's from different fandoms, so all the different like fave movies, fave universes like DC and Marvel, Wizarding World, all that kind of stuff. Last night I went through Community, the night before Back to the Future, so I'm like going through all these titles and worlds and finding what I feel would be for me the best hungover brunch guest. And I have criteria for it foundationally, like that I'll go over, but going through all these titles and everything, I'm setting up like a Sweet 16 NCAA type bracket. So then all of these individuals that I'm pulling from these fandoms are then on these brackets, and then once we have the final 16 of them, we'll start making our way through individuals, like little battles and stuff. And I talk about it while doing this. And each episode is what I'm kind of how I'm looking at this, because it's what I'm used to. Like this episode of Chasing Geekdom, and I'll like talk about a topic with like Comic-Con behind me or Disneyland or whatever. But instead, I'm doing this because it's kind of neat. Today, the show that I'll be going through, and I'm about to tweet this out too, is The Good Place. And I try not to think about it because I like to go through the whole thought process while I'm playing, right? So like just the kind of like side glance when you look at the picture or think about it like a little, you're like, oh, there should be a lot of really good candidates. I thought the same thing about Back to the Future, and that was not the case once you really start diving in. That one mostly because it was like a lot of the main characters were high school students, and Doc. So that was rough. So today, I'm going to be going through while actually trying and playing. So like sometimes I would stop, like think, and then just leave him standing there like if there's no one around fighting, but I'm trying to force myself to like engage in fights and think about this stuff at the same time. It's 2020, it's weird. Let's try some weird stuff, right? Yeah, just making sure the tweet is, spell checking, right? Discussion on okay. The Good Place. Okay, the hashtag's good. There's my link. And there's the very few people from that cast that are actually can be tagged in photos. So, boom. Okay, that's out in the world. Cool. I could obsess over it, but I'm not going to. How about we look at an IMDb? Smaller cast, though, so on paper it seems like it should be one of those where I could get through it faster than, like, Lost, right? Because Lost was the first time that something took me 2 hours to get through streaming, and then I was like, oh, well, that'll never happen again. Maybe not until I get to, like, Westworld or something. Oh my gosh, that's going to be rough. Like, not because I think there'll be a ton of candidates, but because there's such a big cast, and also because you have to think of snapshots of them within the show that you've been shown, and it's like it's such a drab and bleak environment. That's going to be a tough one. But Lost was, yeah. So when I got to Back to the Future, it was just, I think the task was there were 3 films and there were so many versions of the different characters. That's why it was difficult. Hop a squat, Batman. So we can go over kind of like the criteria. I'll probably be here for an hour and a half, maybe a little longer, depends. I have a curbside order to pick up, but not for like food or anything. It's for my alcohol for the weekend and next week and the week after. So I have some time off, and I'm gonna enjoy it. I tell you. All right, where am I headed? Oh, yeah, that's always fun out there. So while I go over these like kind of ground rules and all that, I do sort of chill through these games and let everybody kind of do their battling a little bit, just to kind of get things rolling here. So, and I'm also not a jump right into the heat of battle kind of guy. I kind of like to extend my stay each time I visit the islands and not go through that recycle process of being eliminated, being on the thing, and then being on the bus, and then being on the thing. And, it's not really my jam. So, anyways, basic criteria that I'm looking for, and then for those to stay on the list or like kind of get themselves into the top 3, there's got to be a little something extra, right? And I kind of usually work backwards from like, casts that I go backwards from kind of like not exterior cast, but like guest stars and stuff, and then up to and through. Let's go to retail. Where's that? As long as the Marauder. Every time I pick up a spot, though, it's always where the Marauders end up, which is just Murphy's Law for me. I think Murphy's Law rules Fortnite, though, like for anyone. Yeah, so what I'm looking for, I'm not in my 20s. I don't recover very quickly. So if it's brunch time still, I don't overdo it anymore. Not for the last, 15, 20 years. But, so I'm still going to be tired, recovering, kind of like, let's just keep it, keep it down. And, so that's one thing. The energy level needs to be correct, if you will. Actually, I think I want to go to my... At least have something in hand before I pop down there. Alright, now I can protect myself at least. If I run into any crazies. Alright. So that's one of the kind of foundational things that I need is just the energy level. Okay, so that's good. So that normally will rule out the younger, kind of more hyper characters like a Peter Parker, kind of thing. The young one. they also would need to be able to have a conversation like this. This is the kind of random stuff that I would put my mind to in that state, even though it's not going to be rapid fire kind of thing, but it's like now I just came from long work days, so I'm putting my mind to something like this, even though I have post-work mush brain, to push myself into a different state of mind. So in the same way, I want to do that with, tired and over and having some brunch and whatever. So this is the kind of thing I'd talk about, and they would need to be keen to do so. Perhaps they're just humoring me or whatever. They can fake it. I'm not against that, as long as it seems sincere. I'll take that, and I'll take that. Alright. Still not great with these charge guns yet. Actually, give me that. This is my favorite gun. The blue version of this gun is my favorite. Uh-oh. Where are they? Where are they? Are they here? I hear someone. I hear someone. Where are they? I want for to fight you! Let's do this. Don't sneak attack. Don't sneak attack. Don't sneak attack. So, that's two. They gotta be able to engage in this conversation. They gotta be in the right, state of mind or whatever. Right energy levels. Hey, who dat? Who dat? Where are you? Don't start something if you're not going to finish it. Come on. Whatever. That way. Okay, I'm coming. Now what? Hello? Hello? Ah, there's one. There's another one. Oh, holy cow. Busted my way through that one, didn't I? Anywho. They were getting all rambunctious, weren't they? I'm like, I'm over here trying to talk about important stuff, and they're like, look at you. Well, I'll take that. Someone else want to fight? And then, of course, that'll kind of keep someone on the list. Where are they at? Yeah, I hear you. Don't run. Why would you? Why would you? Why would you? Anyhow. And then there's got to be a little something extra, kind of. Oh, there we go. I got some ammo. That's what I needed. A little something extra. But to get on the list and stay there, it's got to be kind of like, okay, they're bringing something extra to the table, like they have interesting things to talk about. Maybe even outside of this kind of random little conversation. Right mindset, all that kind of stuff. So, get the idea. Now that we know those foundational aspects, let's jump into the good place. I mean, you could start and end this conversation with just how awesome was that show, right? One of those where like they kind of knew. I think I do want that. Thank you very much. Oh. I almost threw a grenade at myself there. Would have been bad. Yeah, I'll take you back. One of those shows, it's like I knew that being Mike sure that it was going to be awesome. Good old Mose from The Office, The first brush that I had with that show, I actually saw the set. It was when I was living in LA, and so like I said, I cover, theme parks and events surrounding them and that kind of thing. So, just chilling at Universal in Hollywood, theme park, not like working on a show like I've talked about having done before. But and I was on the backlot tour, and oops, here comes those guys. No, I don't want that. That internet's gonna try to get funky on me real quick here. So let's see what I can do to make sure that doesn't happen. And of course the Marauders are coming. I am juggling so many things right now. That's good. Hey. Hey. Ah, son of a monkey. I'm out. I'm toast. Oh, I know. Ah! Go, Brian, go. Go, go, go. Oh my goodness gracious. There. This is the worst part of this. I'm going to say it because I say it once at least per stream. Those Marauders are the worst addition. Because of the whole being eliminated thing. Being eliminated by non-player characters that are just so all over. Like, this is the stupid little pods that they come in on. They're groups of like 8. Okay, is that a player? I'm fine with players shooting at me. And then they land just all over the place. Is that a player or is that a GD Marauder? Who's doing that? Who's doing the shooting? Who's doing the shooting? What's that from? That's a movie, right? Movie line. Who's doing the shooting? Oh, I'm gonna need to place that. Anyways, there are just too many of them. Too many groups of them. They're too aggressive. They take out too many people that are actually like playing. And so like it'd be interesting to see the data on how many actual like percentage of players that these non-player characters take out per match, because it's not cool, man. Like I want to win against players. Win and lose against players. Wow, they're good. Are they a good shot or just dumb for trying to pick me out from that far away? Hey, you're not going to scare me, dude. Let's go back to the good place, shall we? Oh yeah, so I was on the backlot tour. And, you know, they take you through, you know, working like areas of the universe a lot. What do I want to trade? This for... Nope. That. Give me. Okay, let's go. There's another one. I saw you throw that grenade, buddy. That's rude. And, that's my favorite gun in this game. I don't know why. Just I aim well with them, and that's like the highest version that you can get of it. So on the backlot tour, man, trying to get through this, and they take you through things. You know, you go by the studios, and sometimes you know there are shows that are shooting. Good Place hadn't aired yet, I don't think. No, and I remember they took you around this corner, and I'm like, oh, this is a show, and it had like Ted Danson and Kristen Bell and everything. I'm like, oh, that should be a cool cast. And then I'm looking at this, and it's that little town that they live in when they get to the Good Place with all the like, you know, the yogurt shops and stuff. And I was like, that is just hella cheesy, but there's got to be a good reason for it. So I saw that probably a couple times doing that little backlot tour. I liked going on that because of, believe it or not, the Fast and Furious little 3D thing, because wasn't a fan of those films, but the why do they not see me? That, I'm sorry, that was not an actual player, right? Right? Couldn't have been. Alright, give me this. Hey. See? Someone would probably say the same about me. Alright. I'm armed up pretty good, right? Oh, this goddamn Marauders. Excuse my French. If you hear, like, just idiotic murmuring, that's them. I'm gonna go ahead and just stay here and hope to everything that they don't Anyway, yeah, so that was kind of neat. And then when I finally saw the show, it's like the context. I'm like, oh, that's perfect. You know? Look at that. Are they gonna look at them taking out actual players? And there's only 8 of us left, right? Like just ridiculous. I hear someone. We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight. Where are you? Ah! Ah! Oh, Mariandre ATC? Mariandrea TC. Not sure how to say that, but that was well thought. They snuck on me. Now you have to deal with those marauders. Good luck for you. Now I can actually jump into the show, right? What a meandering conversation, but that's always how it goes. I'm going to go backwards and work my way forwards here. When it comes to the characters, because I want to kind of pare down the length of this compared to like Lost and Back to the Future and all that, because those took forever. I'll cut it off at. Usually it's like I'll cut it off at. So we got Mr. Carr at like 18 episodes, and then you kind of go down from there. We've got to talk about Maya Rudolph. And then Simone, but then when you take one step down from Simone as far as episode count, you get to Derek and a bunch, but I'm going to start there just with Derek. I'm going to leave just because Jason Mantzoukas is like amazing in a lot of things, you know, but as Derek, he's awesome. If you haven't watched or listened to How Did This Get Made? Sorry. Podcast he does with Paul Scheer. It is, and June Diane Raphael. It's awesome. So if you're looking for a podcast that like they go into those movies that you love to hate, and they look at it and how did this get made? Like what they go through, and they all watch a movie before they get together, and then they just kind of pick it apart in the fun way. In good spirit, it's good spirited. Not totally mean spirited, but they also do live versions when the world is normal. So, anyways, let's start with Derek, just because I like talking about that Mantzoukas. We do see a good enough of a snapshot of him going from when he is born, when he's created, which would have been a huge no, obviously, because he was, there's just nothing going on upstairs. To later on, after Mindy St. Clair, right, that was her name, had rebooted him like millions of times, which is such a Mindy thing to do. He had progressed, He had progressed. Would he have the right energy? He almost seemed. Now let's go to this little beach here. Let's have some beach times. I don't know if I would call it well adjusted. You see, he was chill. You don't see enough of him to know, because he's not human, so he's not going to be hungover. He could fake it, though. If he was even getting close to, like, Janet status as far as his abilities were concerned. There's a maybe that he could fake it. He'd have a curiosity. That's one thing about Derek, was he was very curious. And didn't seem to have like a mean spirit. I think that he'd still have too much like heightened energy no matter what time of day it was. You know? All of it would be like he could pretend, but it would all be contrived. It wouldn't be genuine or like, the effort and the desire to would be genuine, and that's sweet, similar to Janet, but like there's still a loose cannon aspect that might be too much of a loose cannon to be comfortable when you're in that state of mind. Entertaining as hell, of course, but yeah. There are some that are like going to be obvious no's, but I always have a glance to kind of like show my work and explain why there's a no. There are occasions when if it's sorry, if there's any content in the story that is in no way ever could be ever viewed in any comedic. Someone in here? No. Okay. I was sworn there's usually something or other around here. If it's a character that's too tied into a story or a topic that is in no way something that should be joked about or trivialized in a conversation like this, I skip past the character. I've done it a few times already, but anyway. Can't believe I actually was able to put that thought together. Good job, me. This late in the week. Alright. So, sorry, Derek, but you're too much of a spaz and a loose cannon, and even though I think that you might want to try, but I think I'd be carrying that conversation, doing more teaching about those things than I would be like, then you would be really contributing. Honestly, it was just an opportunity to talk about Jason Mantzoukas as good old Derek. I really need to go, so I'm going to just work my way back, go back through the episodes, like Simone going forward. So I feel like it's like I watched them. I feel like I was busy or overwhelmed or something. There was something going on. Not like anything bad or dramatic or whatever. It was just one of those periods where you were just like, you know what I mean, distracted and not totally focused and all that. She also got a little. She had that like episode, right, where she just went weird. Oh yeah, she kind of broke when she got there because she was such a. She thought she had gone crazy when she got to the good place. And so she didn't believe any of it was like real, so she just went completely bananas. So there's that phase of her. And then there's also, of course, before she passed. Really funny. Like she would definitely engage in a conversation like this, just trivial stuff. And would have something to contribute, like thoughts on not really a debate, but like, I guess it is. Not a debate between people, but a debate of like between characters and like criteria stacked up against each other. Yeah. It's getting there. Things are starting to percolate, believe it or not. So Simone, she was funny. She was a risk taker too, because she did allow herself to connect with Chidi, which is always good. Really smart. Not like. I guess I will take this, please. she'd have the right vibe in the next day. That's for sure. Yeah, so I think Simone's definitely going to be on the list because she's, I would say, pre post death breakdown. Simone she's down and she's funny and she's got a good heart and would definitely have something to contribute. And if once we get the rest of them, the top of the list, we'll be able to like delve into more specifics to see where is everyone. He says before getting sniped. Hello, anyone? This way. Are you over here? Sorry for singing. You know, I've been working from home since October, and so a couple months away from a year. And of course, you know, the world shut down. So here I am rambling on. Moving on. So we'll put Simone on the list, and I'm going to write it down because I found that I don't remember. Where are you at? Where are you at? There you are. Do I want to fight a car? Or not? No, he's going away. I don't want to waste my bullets. Simone, write down. Anyone? Anyone? No? Okay. Give me that. Oh. Oh, cow. Wow. Jeez Louise. Holy goodness gracious. Look at all that almost swearing that I just did. Almost. There you are. Oh, I kept thinking that damage on the, I was seeing on the helicopter was like me getting them, but it wasn't. Oh, crap, I need some that health, don't I? Yeah, why not? Let's pick that up. I'll squat over here and see. Simone. I'm going to leave myself out there as a target just so I can write her name down. It's dedication, you know what I'm saying? Alright. I feel like I'm healthed up. Let's go see if there's anyone out at Sweaty Sands or whatever. Getting their beach on. It's beach, I said. I did not curse. Beach. Anyone? Alright. Moving on. Maya Rudolph as the judge. The judge is cool as heck. I mean, and funny. But the judge, I don't think... Wow. Hey. 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 Where's that coming from? It seemed to be coming from way too far away to be as accurate as it was, but most people are better at this game than I am, so... Should be no surprise. Am I going to sneak attack? Or are you way better than me, which is likely. Oh, they're coming from that way. Ah, son of a monkey. You're a good shot, dude. Ah. I did not actually plan to get in this, but I think this is a good getaway. Oh, fun. Oh, I should go through this house and see if there's anything in it. Oh, let's get this guy. I'm just gonna spin around. The judge. The judge. Let's go through this house. Get some things. Alright. I need that. I'm just gonna leave myself out here. Do my thing. Alright, look at that. there's some health. Oh, bandages. There we go. That's what I need. Yeah, the judge. She's supposed to be god-ish, right? Like she could fake a vibe. Like as far as like being chill and hungover, I guess she could probably give herself the. Whoa! 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 I was not ready for that. And gato. Holy cow! Nice one. I pushed the wrong buttons. So yeah, the judge. I don't know. Like I guess my understanding was she was like God kind of thing, you know. And obviously funny. Obviously would engage in this kind of, kind of trivial but conversation. As far as having the right vibe in the morning, it's kind of hard to say. Like you don't know enough about her or what she is to know like Janet, can she be drunk and or tired, you know? Sure, I assume that she could fake it, but although her like experiences when she went to Earth, did seem to have an effect on her. You know what I mean? Like that was odd. Because she came back and she was like, "Earth is rough, y'all." So because of that, I mean, that's a small peek into like an actual emotional reaction. So I would assume perhaps she could be tired, kind of chilled out organically, not like something contrived. But she is a judge. And I think that an authority figure like that, I don't know. I mean, judgment sucks. Like, just the idea of it coming from a person or anyone. It's not like necessarily something kind of like inspiration isn't built on judgment. I think because of that, I'm going to say no. Yeah, nah. I've got some great candidates already on the bracket. Now it's like, in the back of my mind, I am comparing some of these two without saying it. I'm like, most of the time I think of like Mother's Milk from the boys, or someone that you're like, got their stuff together, and just being around them would probably be kind of make you, sorry about that, make you be like, yeah, I gotta get mine together. I mean, yeah, he makes mistakes, but his mistakes are like in favor of helping his friends, which, this whole thought experiment is kind of built on like the understanding that you're going to be at brunch with a friend. So anyway, Judge, I'm sorry you're out. Maya Rudolph, you're amazingly funny and awesome. Oh, Vicky. Vicky. God. Vicky is very interesting. Like, I'm not just saying just as a character to watch. That is also true. But like, if you're in that universe, you're not going to be bored of Vicky. Vicky's agenda, however, I'm gonna have to put the whole like I would have to be friends with them aside just a slight little bit for this one because she's a demon. But we can probably. I mean, we know where this one's headed, but we've got to show our work, right? Yeah. Sorry, I got the yes. I watched the Doc, Mr. Doctor. Disrespect for a little bit of entertainment while I work today. And it is as an experiment to see if I can be a little bit more energetic when I plop down, because that dude just, holy cow. Can't tell if it's worked or not. I love the flare gun. Oh, Vicky. A performer at heart, too, you know? She really wanted to strut her stuff, you know? She felt like she was being sidelined so much, and do I seriously hear... Oh, I hear the music for the shark. That's fine. I don't mind the sharks so much because you know how to avoid them. She only got on board in the end because she was... Getting on board meant that she was being put in charge, you know. She was a... what word am I looking for? Like synonyms for bad. You know, really, like... What are bad qualities? Just a picture of Vicky, you know. I would say, and also Sean. Because if you look at, you look at Michael, he was in that same, he's a demon as well, but like exposed to the same people. Maybe not in the same way, though. You know, Michael was kind of thrust to interact with much more and work with them much more. Vicky did too, though, honestly, like, and didn't end up coming around so much, you know. Opportunistic. So, what about these things would rule her out? Would she engage in a conversation like this if she could get something out of it? She seems like, what comes to mind, and this is nothing at all in relation to Mr. Carr, who crushed it in this role. Get me wrong, Sabine, number one, great. But Vicky reminds me of, like, if I was just thinking about sitting down to brunch with her, or even like inviting her, I got this like throwback in my brain to when, give me, thank you. When I like the dating world in Los Angeles, especially if you're surrounded by, like, if your dating pool is actresses, you know, like aspiring actresses, you know what I mean? Like, because they, by and large, there's always exceptions, don't get me wrong, we're looking in that world, like, what can you do for me, you know? And maybe I was around the wrong people, but like, because you're spending your time as an aspiring actor, which I was when I was living there. It's like, 7 or 8 years of that. That's who you're around, for the most part. So after a while, I learned better, but that's how she strikes me. It's like, if she's going to be there, she's going to be just stupid marauders out there. How about we just zoop? Go on a different direction. Give me like 8 actual players to fight against at the same time. Absolutely. Because we're here to fight each other. Anyway, that kind of is like how Vicky strike me. She'd be there to, like, there'd be that vibe, that feeling of like, okay, well, what are we doing here? And like, what can you do for me? What am I going to get out of this kind of thing? And on that alone is a huge no, because I have been there. It's like, unless you were a producer, Tell me I'm wrong, people who know. Tell me I'm wrong. You know I'm right. And if you're like, for example, like, I've told some stories from when I worked on film sets and stuff as an extra, um, trying to get into SAG, with the SAG eligibility, if you will. All right. We're going to do this. Spring in a trap. I'm that guy. You're welcome. Where was I? I have no idea. We're talking about dating world. Oh yeah, working as a background person, trying to get into the Screen Actors Guild, and you're in that environment, and all of the other ones that are around you. Yeah, sorry about that. What was your name? I can't see. Something morning. Something forlorn morning. Oh, that's a cool name. You deserve better than that. I am so sorry, but I have stories to tell, and I had to spring a trap to make sure I could stay in this round. Forgiven? Forgiven. Thank you. Appreciate it. Anywho, never been good with these guns. These seem like more close quarter because you don't get like with this guy. Okay, he narrows in. This guy, it's a little more like a shotgun scatter, but rapid. I know about guns. Anyway, I'm gonna do this again. Let's see how many traps I can spring. Hey, I got a guy with it. Look at me go. So Vicky, I'm sorry, but that's the vibe that I get. But again, it's a nice opportunity to like talk about actors that I think are awesome. And if you've never seen this show or Star Wars Rebels or currently on, oh my gosh, do I remember the Quibi? It's a thing. She's doing an amazing job on The Fugitive with Kiefer Sutherland. She plays this reporter that's like incredibly smart, resourceful. I have to dig into it more excuse me, to see how good, I guess, the character is. You know what I mean. But anyway, check it out. So sorry, Vicky, you're not going to be on the list. Sean, I think we already know where this is going. But, let's show the work. Sean's a butthole. I mean, come on. He's rotten, you know? And it's like it's not a stink that he hides. He doesn't care. You know. It's just there and he's like, whatever, the contempt is right on the surface. That is another one of those things too that I forgot to mention was a requirement. Is someone still in there? Is this going to be a waste of a flare? Yeah, it would be. Let's go. A requirement being someone who's going to be good to the wait staff when we're out, because this is assuming that we're going to be out, because nobody's going to want to, in this state, actually cook. I'm not gonna put that on someone. We're gonna go somewhere. Oh, whoa, whoa! Ah, I didn't change my guns quickly. Donnie Lee 09, nice work. So, speaking of this game, while I'm playing it, 3 solo wins away from the lifetime solo win goal that I want by the end of this season. And I kept thinking, like yesterday, I'm like, oh, I've got 2 weeks, right? And then I looked at the calendar and I actually have 8 days. So I have 8 days to get the 3 solo wins, which is doable because next week I have a vacation, which was supposed to be at Star Wars Celebration, but alas, it was canceled. Understandably. Before that, we were talking about what? All right, being good to the waitstaff and Sean. That dude's just a turd, and the contempt is right there. You know, he hasn't done anything to redeem himself. He always comes on board to new things begrudgingly. There's no redemptive factor. Like there's no growth for him in that show. I mean, that wasn't the point of his character. You know what I mean? Not sure what a follower bot is. I don't know. I mean, you might not even be here anymore. um, why do I use a follower bot? If you're still here, I honestly don't know what that is. I don't know what most of this, like the ins and outs of all the settings and all that kind of stuff. It just kind of got thrown together. That is kind of my brand, if you will. Just kind of like, the details and such. I was able to kind of cobble all of this together through OBS Studio and that kind of thing. But when you get into like the minutia, little details of the settings and stuff, I haven't dove in yet. So you're here. If you're still here, I could probably look on my tablet. Yeah, feel free to let me know what that is. That means like there was a setting that I saw that said something about requiring an email or something. If that's what you mean, I honestly don't know. So I can always like Google what is a follower bot on for Twitch on Google and see what you mean. I apologize if it in some way makes the experience less fun, but I have no idea. Back to my ramblings. Follower bot. Yeah, I have no idea what that means. Yeah, I can't get my mind on that stuff. I got some cast to get through. Sean, so you're out, obviously. Yeah. M stays. M stays. I think I see your name now. Follower bot. Yeah, if you're still here, you can feel free to let me know what the heck that means. Anyway, yeah, back to the thing. Follower bot. Is it like a moderator thing? I don't know, man. Anyway, don't derail my conversation, bro. Michael. Michael's a contender for sure. I mean, he's got the right temperament later on, and we gotta, we've obviously established that we can take in. Land on that? Nope. Dang it. I saw someone running around. I need to find a gun. Michael, early Michael, obviously, no. He's, not in the part of his life cycle that I would ever consider being, friends with. So I would never be out at a brunch with him. But, he does go through quite a growth, personal growth, throughout the series. Oh, someone's already been here. Yeah. Um, so later on, Michael is definitely an option. You know what I mean? He ends up obviously connecting with all of the humans, grows and realizes that, like, you know, he doesn't want to keep doing things the way that they have been. You know, the afterlife needs to change. Um, the system was broken that they discovered, obviously. The point system, because it's like nobody was making it into the good place, you know, the way things were. And he was just like, you know, because of this and all sorts of things, he uh, decided like he was going to change. I don't know if it's necessarily like for everyone kind of a conscious decision, like I'm going to grow. It can be, you know, but I think his exposure to these people, um, watching them respond in the way that they did to and change themselves, because he was like, oh, you're bad people, and then you deserve to be here, and then saw them grow and improve, and like when given the opportunity to, and these challenges and stuff, it was just like, hold on. His understanding of humanity was altered, um, just by nature of, you know, being around them. Yeah, I guess if you're not here and you're not going to reply and tell me what the heck on you're talking about, buddy, I'm going to move on from that kind of bizarre comments and question. So Michael, later on, you know what? I honestly think, because I've ruled people out because they're not human, and they would have to be kind of somewhat fake about the yeah. Let's do that and that. There we go. Moving on. Yeah, that was weird. Anyway, yeah, what I would consider, from the time, like, you know, that I would consider really, you know, sitting down with him would be obviously human. You know, later when he goes back to Earth as a human, because that's just he'd be in the right state of mind, as far as, you know, the next day he'd be human, because, you know, so he'd be tired and he's not 20. Um, he can be hungover, which is good. And he's got a curiosity, you know, about everything. That's why he did it, you know, and so that's good. I think that that curiosity would drive him to, like, because he obviously loved all the human stuff, you know, and now that he's got access to it on Earth as a human, you know, he'd be just bathing in it, so there'd be a lot to talk about. Yeah, I think that we'll slap that Michael on the list. He's the So right now it's just Simone and Michael, and then we're gonna dive into like the humans. got 5 to get through here. Well, the humans and, of course, Janet. Let's start with Janet. I mean, Janet's awesome, right? She's like, she's obviously going to be able to talk about anything. I guess if you look at, we'll have to do the whole, like, look at the later in the series version of Janet. And, yeah, because, she grows and everything as well. Obviously, she ends up, married for a minute. Oh, I already have enough. Alright, let's go find some people to fight. See if I can get through 2 characters in this round. 20 people left, and actually trying to find people to fight. That's his goal. Janet. There are a lot of her, but we're going to go with good Janet. Call her main Janet. Bad Janet is clearly, obviously, a big no. Oh! He got me good. I did not jump in time. That was awesome. So Janet. Honestly, wonderful performance, obviously. There are just so many different Janets, and Miss Carden did, like, and I thought I'd read that she didn't realize she was going to be playing all of the versions, like Bad Janet, and all that. I don't think she knew, but, she crushed it, as however many versions of there were. But, like, late in the series version of Janet, after she's had all of her growth as a Janet, like, there's no term for her. She's not a robot, she would say. It's just, and again, like, she could contrive fake this state of mind, but there's too much of a, not servant, but like that service aspect of her that I think is kind of core to her. And even sometimes when I'm around people who are just programmed to give and to help and to this kind of thing, so much so that it's like uncomfortable, because there are humans like that where it's like, just switch that off. It's like, don't worry about me. I'm good. Don't sweat it. Like, set. And because of that, I think maybe in a work environment I'd be down with that. But in that state, it would just be kind of like, it might be a bit, not unsettling, off-putting, but like a notch or two back from that. Maybe just a little bit. I shouldn't say I like a little bit of selfish, but like assertiveness, She does get there eventually, but I don't know to the degree that I would want to, like, put Janet on that list. And again, I don't think she could be tired or, from whatever reason. I think I'm gonna still just chill out so I can. Yeah. I don't think. I think just because, yes, she could fake it. Yes, she could probably get us, like, and just conjure whatever. She'd be great with staff, and maybe because she could conjure whatever, she could give them all a break while we're there. That is very cool. I dig that, but I think because there wouldn't be a sincere, like, human. I'm such a humanist. I'm headed. Yeah, let's go to these houses. Yeah, I'm gonna say no to Janet. As pleasant and awesome or whatever as she is, for the criteria that I have set for this, I just don't think that she fits. So we'll go ahead and so sorry. Great performances. Oh, someone's getting eaten up by a shark real bad down there. I need to find a gun. Thank you. Now, who's next? Now we're down to the humans, right? What do we start with? Jason Mendoza. Yes, let's. Oh, good old Jason. Which version? Honestly, are there? Like, he has a little bit of growth, you know. Like, obviously, he wouldn't have challenged. Like, as a group, I don't think Michael would have been challenged by them in any way if, you know, even Jason didn't improve somewhat, you know, as a person. Like, he became more good, but he didn't change in the way that would have made the Jacksonville Jason more appealing to chill out for brunch with than, you know what I mean, than the new and improved version. Like, it's not as if he changed the aspects of his personality. He just, you know, yeah, he grew and connected with Janet, obviously. That was something new for him. But let's take a deeper look into why this is likely going to be a no. I mean, we can really just look at Jacksonville Jason for that. Not because of the... Yeah. Is that fair? Dude is... I mean, just really, just that... both versions for the same reasons. Yeah. Jacksonville Jason would have been out just because, obviously, the Molotovs and all that stuff, and against people that may not have deserved it. Because that same action in against demons is fine with me. So good on him there. But why would he not be appealing? Okay, let's look at the criteria. Wait, I'll take that. Thank you. He would want to talk about something like this. That's for sure. I mean, it's what I say, right up his alley. I guess. You know, he'd have things to contribute. Sure, you know, different fandoms and that kind of thing. He would have experienced and enjoyed and would have thoughts on. That's for sure. The next day, though, as far as from one of his, you know, if he went on a tear and tied one on, he strikes me as still just sprightly. He'd still be like, you know, that guy, and that's just not something I'd be down with. And I think, I don't know. Okay, how would he be with waitstaff? He's nice. Like, he's a kind dude. It's just, I think there's just a dullness there with him that I don't know that I would be interested in spending that hungover brunch time with. Honestly, I think that could be entertaining because I think there would be a predisposition to want to like mock things when you're in that like tired or whatever state. Maybe that's just something about me. Um, so perhaps his being somewhat. Where's that coming from? Are you seriously shooting for me? Oh, okay. Let's hang out, whoever you are. Let's hang out. Um, but I think for him, what it would come down to, the big no, would just be the energy level because he's hype, you know, and that would be unappealing for a hungover brunch. Yeah, I'm sticking to it. Sorry, Jason. You're not in the finals for this random ass experiment of mine. I'm sure you are gutted. All right, we are moving into close to the end here. Let's see. Working into the final three. Tahani, Chidi, and Eleanor. Oh man, there. let's look at Tahani. Thinking about pre-good place Tahani, absolutely not. You could just shut the door on the socialite vein. Just there's a lot of reasons that I think we all know. Like, no, let's not. But as with all the characters, the human characters in that show, and then some non-human characters, there was growth. So we can look at the different eras of Tahani. Because after son of a monkey. That's just. Honestly, I would take a new season this instant without having met my goal of solo wins if it meant not having those idiotic marauders on the island anymore. I'll probably likely play more and stream more like Mario Kart if they're still around in the next season, because it's not as if I'm here to put on like great skills on display. It's not the point. So I'll consider it. I'll consider it if that ends up being the case. I'm sure Epic Games will be gutted if I do that. getting a little better at controlling things when pressed like that. Slightly. Slightly. I think it's just because I'm paying a little bit more attention to it, like the movements that I'm taking. You put effort in. If you try, you'll improve in things. Anyways, Tahani. So, like, in the good place, obviously, from the jump, she's still, like, the Paris Hilton of the group, the name dropper, and where are they? Where are they? Where are they? Where are they? Son of a monkey, I need to get inside. Although, if they see you inside and they know you're in there, they do those little stink bombs. And those take up, like, half of a friggin' house. Alright, let's just cool it here for a minute and see where they end up. So yeah, Tahani's just, the name dropper and that kind of thing. But let's take a look and see if she grew enough to be a candidate, She does end up, doesn't she? Yeah, she helps Michael and them figure out the new system. Or was that she helped test Vicky's idea or something? Did she kind of she interned or something there to help kind of figure all that business out. I like that I've forgotten some things because it means it's time for me to do a rewatch, which is awesome. Since we're not going to get any more of that show because they put a bow on it. Rightly so. I can't think about the finale because then I'll. I think it's nope. It goes through the air and then it lands on the shoulder and man, so good. So Tahani, obviously, I don't know if she ever fully shook that name dropping thing. Like she's become more selfless. That's for sure. Similar to Jason, there where like there's growth and became, good person and that kind of thing, and some of the bad habits went away. But there are kind of foundational aspects to the personality that aren't going to just fully go. So I think there might still be that bit of importance of status there. Not as much. It's not going to be bubbling over, but like you'd still get a little bit of that. I would imagine the name drop stuff. She'd be good to. Would she be as good to the waitstaff as I would want someone to be that I was out with? I still see her as being able to be a bit of a Karen, honestly. I don't see that as something to keep someone out of the good place, But do I have enough ammo to take down a helicopter? Yes, I do. That's good. She'd be in the right state of mind. She'd tie one on and be chill and probably sunglasses and, that's good. She'd probably want to talk about this kind of thing. She would find a way to drop a few names in there. Oh yeah, and then would likely still catch herself. That's not the thing I think would be the reason to keep her off the list, but I honestly think that her sometimes I can't tell if these headphones are so good. I'm still getting used to some of the sounds that you get from this game that I didn't get before when I was playing with just like TV and the speakers. Um, so sometimes I'm like, is that coming from outside or anyway? So Tahani, I don't know. I don't think so. I think that I would be concerned about getting all like caring about things, and how the wait staff and everything would be treated, because that's very important to me. I don't want them to be treated poorly, but I also don't want. I have a thought, but I have to wait and see where this person is. I think I'm hearing a helicopter in the game and a noisy drone outside of actual house. Alright, let's skedaddle. Oh yeah, that's something I can burn down, right? Ah! Santi J. Rosso. Good job. That's a bummer. I thought I had them. I think I gave away my position too much shooting that flare. Sorry, Tahana, you're out. So we still only have Michael and Simone on the list, and we've got Eleanor and Chidi, who are very good candidates. Yeah. Anyhow, yeah, let's look at Chidi. Pre-death Chidi, kind of too manic and nervous and can't make it indecisive. That indecisiveness already is going to like rule him out. So we can already say no. Yeah. But again, he had an arc and he had growth and a lot of change and became more self-assured. You know, he's got a. I don't know why it's striking me like the George McFly, you know, like when he was a kid, when he was a teenager, and just kind of pushed around and all. But he wasn't indecisive. He was just a pushover, and I think Chidi may have been because of his indecisiveness and not just like weakness or passiveness. You know, he was just so. What was it driven by too? It's like probably driven by a lot of things in whatever situation he was in. So obviously, you know, early in the series, Chidi would be a no. So like moving forward through the show, you know, they have how many thousands of years of growth, you know, which is almost cheating. I mean, if you're doing all of that growth just to get on my like brunch guest list thing, that's lame. You know, that's big time cheating, especially against, you know, all the other people that are on the list that just live normal short lives. Would Thor? How old is Thor? He's on the list. I don't know if he's like thousands of years old or whatever, but he's also a superhero and all that. So never mind. I'll stop giving you crap for living as long as you have to just to get on my silly list. So Chidi later on obviously became throughout the series more self-assured, um, could make decisions. This used to be my favorite little house that's gone, a little patch of brown, right where my head is there. And it had like a little Christmas tree and like 17 little loot thingies, and kind of bummed that as the water receded it didn't come back, but I wonder if it's because of like the Christmas aspect of it that they didn't. Anyway, but Chidi, yeah, it's more self-assured. Obviously, he had his really long love with Eleanor, which was great, transformative, and all that. I mean, of course, credit to him as well for self-improvement. I don't think it all came through that, but I think it definitely inspired a lot of it. And the things that he was into, though, early on, yeah, I would definitely have like ruled it out, even after a little bit of like personal growth, just because his interests were more more heady, you know. But credit to Eleanor, his relationship with her. She's obviously going to introduce him to a lot of the things, the types of things that would be going on about in a conversation like this. Although I don't know if he'd. I think in those situations he might humor it, or just like a step beyond that. But I don't know that. Like he'd be that one that would be like, she'd introduce him to a world of like of different types of of TV shows and that kind of thing, and he may not like fully fall for like an entire genre, like, but he would find his thing. He'd find his one, but it would be kind of limited in scope because his bread and butter is, obviously, philosophy, and philosophers, and those types of things. And while he'd humor her, for sure, it's the woman he loves and all, who knows if he'd want to do the same if he's just hanging with a friend or whatever. Yeah, come in here. Come on. I get you. I got you. I need some payback from that last loss. It was my own fault. Just stung a little. So Chidi, I mean, he would also, he's in the right, I was going to say right age, but he died at the right age. He's like going to be thousands of years old or whatever, but can you be hungover? We're going to assume yes. We're going to assume yes. Let's do that, because I don't want to like rule out all of the humans after they've passed. He'd have the right energy the next day, I think. Kind of right state of mind. He'd be very kind to the waitstaff. And now that he's, not indecisive like he was early on, he's not going to drive them crazy, which is good. But I honestly think he'd pass on the humoring of delving into something like this. Although, would he eat that up though? Because it's philosophical, right? Somewhat. I'm kidding myself. Chidi would not have it. He would delve in enough because he cares about Eleanor, and it would be sincere. But their understanding wouldn't extend to a friend, I don't think. So, because of that, I think I'm going to let him off the hook by not putting him on the list. So, you're welcome, Chidi. Yeah, I'm going Son of a monkey. I want to get... Okay. Man, these things are getting taken a lot longer. So we're probably, hopefully, a week away from learning about these idiotic marauders. Hopefully sooner. There's got to be an explanation for these just completely bizarre noises that they make. I swear I heard one of them burp. Like, probably a month back. Obviously, we were down to one more before we look at our top three. Well, yeah, let's just, let's assume, but let's look at Eleanor and see if maybe it's a top two. Dirtbag, Earthbound, pre-death, Arizona, right? Eleanor. I'm not going to say it's an immediate no, because she's funny. She would engage in this stuff. She's not a great person, though, which is obviously why she ended up where she did. Or is it? I mean, they did find out that there were huge flaws in the system. But I think the fact that she didn't care much about, anything. Some of the arguments that she made about that did make a little bit of sense to me. I'd be like, oh, yeah, like when her boyfriend at the time was like, oh, how could you, whatever, and she, because of what we know about, that organization or whatever, and she's like, dude, if we stopped participating or shopping with every organization that has done something wrong, we wouldn't have anything to do or buy or whatever. There's an element of truth to that, but a smidge, I think. But you can still try. What is that? Oh, that's the boat gun, right? Anyways, we'll move on. Well, definitely not the Earthbound version of Eleanor, but again, she had thousands or whatever years of growth in this show. So if you look at, jump ahead that entire time, swinging by, did I get your attention? Probably that was a bad idea. So she becomes a better person. Cares about, obviously, all of that stuff that would have eliminated her early on is gone. So we can kind of look at that whole next day aspect, energy level that she would bring would be right. I mean, it's Eleanor. She's still, it's like, that's what I loved. One of the things I loved about that show is that they grew, but they didn't change. These characters were still themselves. They just became better people, which was a testament to the writing for that show and the performances, obviously. So she's still cool as hell, but just not. She's going to be good to the people around, so you wouldn't really have to worry about. So the energy level would be right. She'd be good, kind of the wait staff, and not in an annoying or insincere way. That's one thing. That's she's real. You're gonna get. Are they fighting each other? Can I sneak up on people who are fighting each other? I like that. That's fun. Where's this guy? Where are you, buddy? Where are you, buddy? So, and Eleanor was no exception. She's Where was that? Where was that? Where was that? Oh, there you are. Ah! Dude, you took both of us out. I can respect that. I can respect that. He was like, if I'm going, so are you. Here we go. And there we went. Good job, buddy. Whoever you were. So, Eleanor would be incredibly fun. She definitely have things to add. Would have the right energy, would treat the staff well, and it would all be sincere too. It wouldn't be like contrived in any way. Down to earth. So let's obviously kind of knew where that was going, but Eleanor. I have no idea how to spell that. All right, so now we are down to the top 3 in today's edition of the fandom brunch hungover brunch guest quest thing. And I think this is going to round out the second bracket, the Sweet 16 bracket, that will then go on. So this is going to go on forever. You're so welcome. Not today, but like through the end of the year. Yeah, this will complete that second bracket. So we'll have 8 set up, and then half of the bracket. So we're down to today's edition of This Is For the Show The Good Place. I'm going through the cast, and we're down to Simone, Michael, and Eleanor. Now Simone's going to be, unlike the others, I think that's what I established. It would be the kind of pre Good Place, pre breakdown version, because she broke when she got there. Could start with Simone and Michael. We'll pair them up and see who is more preferable. Simone and Michael. So Simone, both would be engaged, I think, interested in the conversation. Both would have something to contribute. I think, honestly, because Michael is going to bathe in it just so much when he gets to Earth, because this is the human version, that he's going to eclipse someone who's just kind of taking it for granted like we do, and the characters would, even no matter how much you love it, she's going to have kind of an organic built-in interest in these things and have some points of interest, but he's going to be like Abed, like push the premise of it just by the sheer volume of what he's taken in, just to another level, So I think in all the other aspects, they're going to be pretty on par, right energy in the morning, both like great hearts. Hers more so started there, his got there, but these versions of them, I think, Um, yeah. So I think Michael is his enthusiasm for it is going to be good, and it's not obviously it's not going to be like an enthusiasm that's going to be so off-putting that because it's going to bring too much energy at that time of day. Because he's also going to be like engaging in learning about alcohols as well, you know. So he may be a little out of practice and also need this sort of greasy hungover brunch therapy. Yeah, I think Michael wins that round. It's close though, Simone. It was close. It was close. So now we're down to 2. Surprise, surprise, it's Michael and Eleanor. This is tough. This is tough. So looking at just the foundational aspects again. Both. I just get nervous when I hear those sharks swimming around. Oops. Both are going to be good to the wait staff, obviously. Michael, I was going to say perhaps a little too enthusiastically, but the thing is, I do like someone who is going to take the wheel when it comes to those interactions. Because, one, social anxiety, I don't want to deal. And 2, that is amplified in those kind of more tired, hungover, vulnerable states. And I think he would be more prone to do so than she would. Because I think that in that moment, I think she'd also be looking at me like, dude, you need to handle this kind of thing. And I'd be like, no. And then that would be awkward. Not enough to rule her out just yet. Gotta look at the other aspects. Conversation itself. This whole premise, again, yeah, Michael would push the envelope in a good way. She'd have a more relatable experience with it, similar to mine, but I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing. Because again, I like to be pushed and grow and learn, and I don't think that he would expect. He doesn't strike me as one in that moment that he would expect to like teach me about blank, or would he? Would he be like? Would he still be in that state? You know, like tell me all about blank and whatever. I don't know. I don't know if he'd. I don't think he'd always be in that state of mind because he wants to connect and he wants to share. And I don't think that I would have to pry that out of him. I think I could lob a few kind of soft questions his way, and then he would run with it. That sounds very appealing. That's not a lot of trying. You know what I mean? And while Eleanor's experience in those things would be the things that we engage in the topic of conversation with would be similar to how I would have experienced them as well, as being human from kid to not kid. I don't know. I don't know. I try to engage with those that are more so dissimilar from me than similar, as much as I can. Just because I know me. I know what I'm like. I know what I know, and I don't need to surround me with more versions of me, you know. That being applied just to, her as far as, being human and growing up that way. I think because of this, like both of them would be great company, but I I think Michael comes out on top just because, again, I throw a little softball, like starter questions about these things at him, and he's just gonna run with it, take the wheel, and he's gonna take the wheel as far as interactions, and I'll be good to them, wait staff and all that, thanks to all of the people, the service people, that kind of thing. And I would be able to like kind of soak in a life experience unlike my own. A llama, an actual loot llama. I think I got him a little bit. I'm gonna make the thing blow up, I think. I guess it doesn't matter, he's gone. Ah! Someone heard my ruckus and wants to brawl. Ooh, that was close. Holy cow. Goodness gracious. Nope, not that. Give me that. Give me that. Oh, I need to find some health. Real bad. Let's go to this house and see. So, I think we have a winner. Michael. Former demon Michael turned human is the winner of this round, and it's going on the good old bracket. The Sweet 16 is taking shape a little bit. Okay, buddies, I need some help. Someone's gonna come in like right now and take me out. Nope. Oh. Seriously? Oh, that's still okay. I'll take that. But I really do need some help, kids. Screw it. Let's go fight. Oh wait, I can get one of these fish. Give me this. Give me this. Where'd that fish go? That was a terrible cast. That's... Alright. Is that gonna give me where to go? Screw it. Let's go fight some bulls. Is that a little health box? Yes. Let's get it. Son of a... Biscuit. Why did the ground shake? What happened? It can't be good. Hey, what happened there? So, before this round wraps up, I'll be adding Michael from The Good Place to the list. Be sure. Where did that come from? Where did that come from? Oh, that's you up there, isn't it? Alright. It's a shame I don't have a flare gun. Chasing Geekdom is the channel. You could find all of my regular coverage of comic conventions and theme parks and all that kind of stuff that I'm usually doing when the world is normal. ChasingGeekdom.com, and you can also find me at all of the things at Chasing Geekdom. So Twitter, that's where I usually am. Instagram, YouTube. That's where these will end up. Live gameplay videos is the playlist where these go. But you can also see a lot of the events and stuff at ChasingGeekdom.com. You'll find all the different categories of conventions and different races like Star Wars Half Marathon, that kind of thing. You can see all of that there. And you can check out my schedule here in the schedule section. So I'll be here every day, figuring out who from all the fandoms and things would be the best hungover brunch guest. Because 2020 is weird as heck. How about we go out in a blaze of glory? Let's do this. As long as it's not a blaze of gunfire from stupid marauders, I'm fine. Where they at? Where they at? Where is everybody? Where is that helicopter? There he is. No, I'm low on ammo, aren't I? Shoot. There they go. But really, it's just an excuse to talk about the stories and characters from those stories that we love, which is always nice. Alright, let's... Do we have any more? Oh, I want some of this. Oh, flare gun. Yes, thank you. Give me that. That. Oh, please, let's get this down and before anyone shows up. Alright. Nope. Give me that back. Nope. That has more ammo, doesn't it? What's in here? Son of a biscuit. Alright. Screw it. Oh, I know. Let's get that away. see if we can get up close and personal with some folks and get them with the good old shotgun. And if you have any ideas, shows, movies, fandoms, things that you would want to get through, I have a pretty solid list for the rest of this to set up the Sweet 16. But once I end up going through all of these and setting that up and going through that battle, that'll be eventually a round 2, you know. Hopefully there will be less of an opportunity to do so next year because I'll be out exploring more and, you know, out in the world. And I'd be, yeah, buddy, I see you. 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 Okie dokie. Thank you for playing. Alright, now I have some ammo, which is good. Oh, wait, do I want... Oh, I got ammo on this bad boy. I like this gun for some reason. There's 3 of us left. One's in a stupid helicopter. Where's this other guy? Where are you, buddy? We gotta get rid of each other so that one of us can take out the daggum helicopter. Oh, it was him. He got me with that sniper. Nice job. Now you gotta get that helicopter down. Oof. I would have been, if I didn't have this next week off, concerned about getting that last few wins in to, you know, meet the goal that I want to make. But since I have a whole week off, I'll be able to knock those out, I think. Trying to do them all when I'm streaming. And I think I'll play more, and I think that means I'll stream more next week. But I also want to make sure that I get out into the world, you know, safely. Do some runs around the lake and do some paddleboarding and that kind of thing. But yeah, so my schedule next week will be a little different, and I'll change the schedule on Twitch to reflect that. So Chasing Kingdom, all of the things that I mentioned, you can find the link to YouTube in here. And really need to bring my computer closer. It's weird because I see the chat comes through more through OBS Studio than it actually does in the moderator thing here in it's really odd. I really need to tweak some of these settings because I just now am noticing in OBS Studio there's like people talking, but then in the actual moderator version of the chat I'm not seeing it. Bizarre. Yeah. Oh, there's like... Okay, now I see them. Do you read chat? Well, I'm going to try to get better at that. Vortexer. My apologies. Thanks for letting me know to keep on grinding. I'm trying, you know. I don't know if what I call what I do grinding. Just a little too tired for exerting that much. Trying. But it's a notch back from grinding, I suppose. Yeah, I'll get better. I'll figure out this whole chat business. I thought I was going to be able to see it through something other than OBS, but I'll figure it out. I'll do some tweaking and learning and all that to figure out the settings so that I can make sure to see when people pop by. Because that's always fun. Especially if there's an engagement in the conversation I'm having, because I need all the help I can get in this quest that I'm having to find the ultimate hungover brunch guest from all the fandoms. But anyways, you know where to find me. The links are all there, and make sure to hang out. Next time I'll be here tomorrow night, normal time, weekend, same brunch times, 10 a.m. but ish. Next week's gonna look a little different though because of the time off, so I'll figure it out. It's probably gonna end up being a little all over the place, maybe, and some that I'll just kind of like hop on, but I'll at least try to schedule one time, and if it's in the evening, it'll be earlier than usual. I do like how these brackets are shaping up. And I'll end up making a graphic of them, or I might have to find someone that I know that's good at those types of things to make it appealing to look at. Otherwise, it's going to look like stick figures and, unreadable text, because I have chicken scratch for handwriting. I'll see you next time.